Here is something I see all the time. Someone comes in feeling confident they are ready to retire. They have a number saved, they have a date picked, and then we sit down and walk through the actual checklist and find gaps. Real ones, not minor details. Things that could cost them tens of thousands of dollars or push the retirement date back by a year or more. Most people think being ready to retire means having enough money saved. And yes, that matters. But it is only one piece of a much bigger picture. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through a 7-box checklist to prepare for retirement. If you can check all 7, you are genuinely in strong shape. If you cannot, you need to know that now, not on the day you hand in your notice. And if you plan to retire in the next year, stick around. I have a bonus section at the end built specifically for you. I'm PJ Gibbs with Trello Wealth. Let's get into it. Before we get into any numbers, we need to start here. And this is the box most people skip entirely. What are you retiring to? Not just away from the stress of the job, the commute, the meetings, but what does your actual life look like? Where are you living? How are you spending your time? Are you traveling, helping grandkids, starting something new, or slowing all the way down? This matters because your lifestyle plan drives every financial decision that follows. Your spending in retirement isn't going to be a fixed number. Research consistently shows that retirees tend to spend more in their early years, the go-go years, and less as they age. If you don't have a clear picture of what that first decade looks like, your income plan is built on a guess. Too often, I see people who have thought deeply about the financial side of retirement, but have barely scratched the surface on what the days actually look like. That creates anxiety, and sometimes it is what keeps people working longer than they need to. So, before you check this box, answer 2 questions. First, what does a great week in retirement look like? Second, what will it cost? This is your retirement paycheck, and unlike when you were working, this one does not show up automatically. You have to build it. Your income plan answers one core question. Where is the money coming from, and in what order? For most people, income in retirement comes from a combination of Social Security, a pension if they have one, portfolio withdrawals, and maybe rental income or part-time work. The order you draw from these sources and the timing matters enormously. Take Social Security alone. The difference between filing at 62 versus 70 can be $1,000 or more per month in lifetime benefit. That decision alone is worth modeling carefully. A complete income plan maps out your expected income by year, accounts for inflation, and identifies the gaps your portfolio needs to fill in. It also needs to be built with flexibility in mind, because retirement rarely goes exactly as planned. The approach I use with clients is a guardrails framework. Rather than locking into a fixed withdrawal rate, guardrails set upper and lower spending boundaries. If your portfolio grows, you can spend a little more. If it drops, you pull back slightly. It is a dynamic system that keeps your income sustainable without requiring you to live in fear of every market move. Your plan also needs to be pressure tested against a longer than expected retirement. A 65-year-old couple today has roughly a 50% chance that at least one of them lives past age 90. Your income plan needs to hold up for potentially 30 plus years. If you cannot clearly describe where your income is coming from in year 1 and year 20, this box isn't checked. Okay, this is one that surprises most people. They think taxes are a working year's problem. They're not. Every decision in retirement is a tax decision. For many retirees, the tax decision made in the first 10 years of retirement determine hundreds of thousands of dollars in lifetime tax burden. Here's why. Most pre-retirees have most of their savings in traditional 401ks and IRAs, money that has never been taxed. Every dollar you pull out in retirement is ordinary income. And at age 73, the IRS says, you've deferred the taxes long enough and we want our money. So you are required to start taking required minimum distributions, whether you need the money or not. If your balance is large enough, those RMDs can push you into a higher tax bracket and trigger surcharges on your Medicare premiums. This is why the window between retirement and age 73 is one of the most valuable tax planning periods of your life. Income is often lower, tax brackets may be more favorable, And Roth conversions, when you move money from a traditional IRA to a Roth IRA, can allow you to prepay those taxes at potentially lower rates and eliminate future RMD pressure. A solid tax plan maps out your Roth conversion strategy year by year all the way through age 73. It coordinates with your income plan so you're not accidentally triggering a higher bracket or a Medicare surcharge. And speaking of which, that coordination piece matters most when you get to box 5. But first, let's talk about how your portfolio needs to change. Your portfolio in retirement is a completely different animal than your portfolio during accumulation. And a lot of pre-retirees don't realize that until they're already in it. During your working years, the best thing you can do is add money consistently. Market dips are opportunities. You have time on your side. In retirement, you're withdrawing money. Market dips are now a threat, specifically what is called sequence of returns risk. A significant market drop in the first few years of retirement while you were taking withdrawals can permanently damage a portfolio that might otherwise recover just fine. An investment plan built for retirement needs to account for your withdrawal rate, your time horizon, and the sequence risk that comes from pulling income from a portfolio. It typically means holding enough in stable, accessible assets to cover near-term expenses without being forced to sell stock-like holdings at a low point. But restructuring for withdrawals is only part of the work. The other piece that often gets overlooked is asset location, meaning which investment sits in which type of account. Most people are familiar with asset allocation, the mix of stocks and bonds. Asset location is the next layer. A tax inefficient investment like a bond fund, generating regular taxable interest, belongs inside a tax deferred account like your IRA, where it won't create an annual tax drag. Meanwhile, investments that produce qualified dividends or long-term gains may be better suited to a taxable brokerage account where favorable capital gains rates apply. And putting your highest growth holdings in your Roth allows all that growth to happen tax-free. Getting this right doesn't change what you own. It changes where you hold it. And that distinction can meaningfully improve your after-tax returns over a 20 or 30-year retirement. Look, if your portfolio today still looks like it did when you were 45 and focused entirely on growth, this box is not yet checked. A retirement portfolio needs to be structured for the withdrawal phase and optimized for tax efficiency across all your accounts, not just one. Healthcare is one of the largest expenses in retirement, and it is one of the least planned for. If you're retiring at 65 or older, Medicare is your starting point. But Medicare isn't free, and it is not simple. The standard Part B premium in 2026 is $202.90 per month. But if your income from 2 years prior exceeds certain thresholds, you will pay more and sometimes significantly more. This is called IRMA, the Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. In 2026, IRMA kicks in for single filers at $109,000 of modified adjusted gross income, and for married couples at $218,000. At higher income levels, the combined Part B and Part D surcharge can reach over $780 per month per person. Here's the planning detail that catches people off guard. As I said earlier, Medicare looks back 2 years, so your 2026 premiums are based on your 2024 income. That means a large Roth conversion or a business sale in 2024 could have triggered a Medicare surcharge in 2026, even if your income has dropped significantly in between. This is exactly why your tax plan and your healthcare plan have to be built together, not separately. And if you're retiring before 65, you need a bridge. Coverage through the marketplace or a spouse's plan or COBRA, but something. Do not leave this to chance. And beyond Medicare, there's long-term care. Studies estimate a 70% chance that someone turning 65 today will need some form of long-term care during their retirement. Medicare won't cover it. Whether the answer is a traditional long-term care policy, a hybrid life insurance product, or self-insured strategy, you have to plan. Okay, this one is less exciting to talk about, but it's also the box that most people I talk to leave unchecked the longest. On the insurance side, do you have appropriate life insurance coverage? Most people don't need life insurance in retirement. If you've saved well, your assets support your lifestyle, and your spouse can maintain their standard of living without your income, life insurance has likely done its job. I like to say, if you can afford to retire, You can also afford to die. But there are situations where it still makes sense. And you need to ensure your dependents are taken care of if you were to pass away. On the estate side, the documents that matter most are a current will, a durable power of attorney, healthcare directive, and up-to-date beneficiary designations on every account and life insurance policy. And now's a good time to map out how the money moves once you pass away. If most of your money is qualified accounts, it's going to those beneficiaries. What your will says won't matter. A good rule of thumb: if you have not reviewed these documents in the last 3 to 5 years, it's long overdue. Okay, this is the foundation everything else sits on. Entering retirement with high interest debt is a serious drag on your plan. A mortgage is often manageable. Credit card debt or car loans are a different story. Part of your pre-retirement preparation should be a clear strategy for getting to or close to a debt-free position. And your emergency reserve matters just as much. In retirement, an unexpected expense, a major home repair, medical bill, family situation, should not force you to liquidate investments at an inopportune time. A dedicated cash reserve, typically 6 to 12 months of living expenses, gives your plan the cushion it needs to absorb surprises without disrupting your income strategy. Think of it as your plan's shock absorber. Without it, even a well-built retirement plan becomes fragile. If your retirement date is within the next 12 months, here's your bonus short list of immediate action items. First, maximize your final contributions. If you are under the contribution limits for your 401k or IRA, these last months of earned income are your final opportunity to add to these accounts on a pre-tax or Roth basis. Second, lock in your benefits. Confirm your Social Security estimate, understand your pension options if you have one, and nail down your Medicare enrollment timeline. Missing your Medicare enrollment window can result in permanent premium penalties. Third, complete a full account inventory. List every account, every beneficiary, every insurance policy. Make sure everything is current and that your estate documents reflect your actual wishes. Fourth, run your numbers with real income data, not estimates, actual projected income and actual projected expenses. If there's a gap, you want to see it now, not in month 6 of retirement. And fifth, talk to a financial advisor who specializes in retirement income planning. Not because you cannot figure this out on your own, but because the decisions you make in the next 12 months before and after retirement are among the highest stakes financial decisions of your life. And you only get one chance to make them. So there it is, the complete 7-box retirement readiness checklist. Lifestyle plan, income plan, tax plan, investment plan, healthcare and Medicare, insurance and estate documents, emergency reserve, and debt position. Plus the bonus transition checklist for anyone inside that final 12-month window. How many boxes can you check right now? If you're not sure, or if even one of those areas feels unclear, download the free checklist at the link in the description. If you'd rather talk through it directly, you can schedule a call with me, also in the description. The goal is simple. When you walk out the door for the last time, you should feel ready. Not just financially, fully ready. That is what the checklist is built to do.